Kevin Durant's alleged burner account got exposed during 2026 All-Star Weekend, and the leaked messages targeted almost every teammate he has ever played with. The screenshots set the internet on fire, and now the NBA world is picking through the wreckage trying to figure out what KD said and who he said it about. So let's get into how Kevin Durant ended up in the middle of the biggest burner account scandal in NBA history, and every player caught in the crossfire. On February 15, 2026, in Inglewood, California, the NBA All-Star Weekend was supposed to be about basketball. Kawhi Leonard was scoring at will in the All-Star Tournament. The league had revamped the format to bring back competition. Players were supposed to be the story, but Kevin Durant became the story for a reason that had nothing to do with what happened on the court. Just before Sunday's All-Star game tipped off, screenshots from a private group chat began circulating on X. The account in question was under the handle Ojathire77, sometimes also referenced as Gtoff Medickerson. Fans on the platform started tagging it, sharing screenshots, and making the case that the person behind the account was none other than Kevin Durant of the Houston Rockets. The account was created in August 2021 and went private within hours of the leaks. Inside those screenshots were messages aimed at current teammates, former teammates, coaches, and other NBA figures. The tone was blunt, the language was raw, and the targets were names that anyone who follows the NBA would recognize immediately. A thread posted by the account All Playoff Sports laid out the messages one by one, and it spread fast. Within hours, the phrase KD Burner was trending on X. Memes followed. So did hot takes from every corner of sports media. But the part of this story that got the most attention was not what was written in the screenshots. It was what Kevin Durant was doing while all of this was happening. He was at the arena. He was getting ready to play. And he was locked into his phone. A video surfaced on the internet showing Durant walking around the court before the All-Star game, staring at his phone with a tense expression on his face. As a staff member directed him in a particular direction, the camera captured what many described as a forced smile before he turned away. While other players were laughing, dapping each other up, and enjoying the festivities, Durant looked like a man who had just received bad news. The internet filled in the blanks. His performance in the tournament backed up what people were already saying. Durant scored just 12 points across 3 games, shooting 5 of 15 from the field in 28 minutes of total playing time. In the championship round against Team Stars, he went scoreless, missing all 4 of his shot attempts in 6 minutes on the floor. For a 16-time All-Star, those numbers were impossible to ignore. YouTuber Flight Reacts said what a lot of people were thinking. Kevin, get off Twitter, get off your burner, stop arguing, stop being ignorant, and play basketball, bro. Deactivate. Popular streamer N3On, who has collaborated with Durant in the past, took the opposite position. He would never do some sot like that. It's not the type of guy he is. N3On said in defense of the Rockets forward. On top of all of it, a parody account called NBA Centel posted that the Houston Rockets had waived Kevin Durant. That post pulled in close to 296,000 views in 2 hours. It was fake. But the fact that people had to stop and check says something about where the conversation had already gone. The Rockets did not waive Durant. They are not going to waive Durant. This is a player who signed a 2-year, $90 million extension with the team in October 2025, and who was acquired through the largest trade in NBA history just months earlier, a 7-team deal that sent Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, and the number 10 pick to Phoenix. Houston bet everything on KD being the missing piece. But the screenshots, if even a fraction of them are real, suggest that the missing piece may have some feelings about the rest of the puzzle. So what exactly did the leaked messages say? That is where things get complicated, because the burner account did not just go after one player or one team. It went after almost everyone Kevin Durant has shared a locker room with over the past decade. Let us start with his current teammates. The messages that got the most immediate attention were aimed at the players Durant sees every day in practice, his Houston Rockets teammates. The alleged burner account did not hold back on 2 players in particular, Alperen Sengun and Jabari Smith Jr. On Sengun, the leaked message read, "Coach called that play to pass to Alpi Lowell. Ema turned the ball over with this style team. Idgaff. Your franchise player can't shoot or defend. That's a way bigger issue than my turnovers. Remember, these guys are your future." That is a lot to unpack. Sengun is the Rockets' 22-year-old center from Turkey. He has been one of the most improved players on the roster over the past 2 seasons. The front office views him as a cornerstone of the franchise going forward. He started alongside Durant in Houston's jumbo lineup to open the 2025-26 season after Fred VanVleet went down with a knee injury, calling the franchise player a liability on both ends of the floor from an alleged private account, while playing on the same team. That hit different from a standard basketball criticism. The comments on Sengun also had an undertone that made it worse. The message seemed to be saying that his turnovers were being scrutinized, while a far bigger problem, Sengun's limitations, was being ignored. It read like frustration with the coaching staff, the media, and the direction of the team, all wrapped into one paragraph. On Jabari Smith Jr., the messages were even more direct. One read, "I can't trust Jabari to make a fucking shot or get a stop." Another reportedly said, "Jabari is a lost cause. He'll never be good." Smith is 22. He was the third overall pick in the 2022 draft. He was one of the reasons Houston's rebuild gained momentum. When the Rockets acquired Durant in July 2025, one of the selling points was that KD could mentor the young players on the roster and guide them through a championship push. Smith was at the front of that line. He is in the starting five alongside Durant. He was supposed to grow under KD's leadership. Instead, according to these leaked messages, the alleged account was saying he would never develop into a reliable player. The word trust stood out. It was not about talent, it was about belief. And in a team sport, if the veteran leader does not believe in the young players around him, that usually comes through in how the team plays. The Rockets entered this season as legitimate contenders. They had the second best record in the Western Conference the year before at 52-30. They added a four-time scoring champion. But if that scoring champion does not trust the guys next to him, what does the path to a championship look like? The alleged account also called Smith low-key retarded, which drew a separate wave of criticism beyond basketball. That comment was flagged repeatedly as people shared the screenshots. Teammate Alperen Sengun had said just a few months earlier how much Durant's commitment to Houston meant to the locker room. When KD signed his extension in October, Sengun told reporters, "We see how bad he wants to play, how bad he wants to win. I saw he took a pay cut too, and that's important. We already know how much he cares about the team, how much he helps everybody. So happy to see that." That quote looks different now, sitting next to a leaked message, calling him a franchise player who cannot shoot or defend. Whether or not the account belongs to Durant, the damage to the locker room narrative is real. The Rockets are in the middle of a playoff push. They need chemistry, and the internet just handed them a grenade. Now here is the thing about the Rockets being targeted. They were supposed to be the fresh start. Durant left Phoenix because that situation fell apart. The Suns finished 36-46 and missed the playoffs in 2024-25. Houston was the landing spot where he would finally have the supporting cast to contend again. He even told media that he admired the Rockets' leadership and culture from afar, and that the decision to sign his extension was a no-brainer. But the leaked messages from the alleged burner tell a different story, one where the franchise player is privately unhappy with the roster he signed up to lead. That contrast is what made the Rockets' messages hit the hardest. But the account did not stop in Houston. It went backward through Durant's career, and the next stop was Phoenix. The alleged burner account also contained messages about Kevin Durant's time with the Phoenix Suns, and those messages were some of the most quoted screenshots from the entire leak. On Devin Booker and former Suns head coach Frank Vogel, the leaked chat reportedly read, "Two dictators, Stalin and Hitler, Mussolini and Kim Jong-un." Another message about Booker reportedly said, "The Suns are my team when we lose, and Book's team when we win." That second line is the one that carried the most weight. It is a complaint about credit. It says that when the Suns won, Booker got the praise, but when they lost, the blame fell on Durant. Whether that is true or not, it reads as someone who felt sidelined in his own team's narrative. Durant spent 2.5 seasons in Phoenix. He arrived in February 2023 in a blockbuster trade from Brooklyn, and became the 8th player in NBA history to score 30,000 career points while wearing a Suns jersey. But the Suns never made a deep playoff run with him. The team around him, despite including Booker and Bradley Beal, could not get it done. Durant reportedly had a less than amicable breakup with the organization, and these leaked messages suggest the frustration ran deeper than what he said publicly. The comparison to dictators was extreme enough to become the most viral part of the leak, whether it was meant to be literal or just a frustrated exaggeration in a private chat. It crossed a line that most people would not expect from a player about a former teammate. Then came the messages about the Golden State Warriors era. A leaked screenshot showed the alleged account writing, "If you don't screen and pass up shots for Steph, you getting waived." That was a direct reference to Stephen Curry and the Warriors' offensive system under Steve Kerr. The implication was that the Warriors revolved around Curry, to the point where any player who did not cater to his game would be pushed out. Durant played 3 seasons in Golden State from 2016 to 2019. He won 2 championships, 2 finals MVPs, and played some of the best basketball of his career. But there was always tension around the narrative. Were the Warriors KD's team, or were they Curry's team that KD joined? Draymond Green said publicly at one point that Durant's discontent with Golden State stemmed from not receiving enough praise for his contributions against LeBron James in the finals. That has been debated for years. Now, this leaked message, if authentic, confirms that the alleged account holder still carried that resentment years later. On Russell Westbrook, Durant's former Thunder teammate, the alleged burner account referred to him as a triple-double Komasasan bear, while comparing him to Curry. The full message reportedly said something to the effect of, "I wouldn't say Kai was competing with me, but that light skin and that triple-double Kansi's bear was." Kai is a reference to Kyrie Irving. Light skin referred to Curry, and the rest was about Westbrook. The implication was that both Curry and Westbrook competed with Durant for the spotlight when they were teammates, while Irving did not. Durant and Westbrook played together in Oklahoma City from 2009 to 2016. Westbrook recorded 42 triple-doubles and averaged 31.6 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 10.4 assists in the 2016-17 season, the season right after Durant left for Golden State. That MVP campaign by Westbrook was widely seen as a response to Durant's departure, and the alleged burner message suggests the account holder still viewed Westbrook through that lens. That is 4 franchises worth of teammates targeted so far: OKC, Golden State, Phoenix, and Houston. But there was still Brooklyn. Kevin Durant's time with the Brooklyn Nets lasted from 2020 to 2023, and it produced some of the highest expectations and lowest results of his career. He teamed up with Kyrie Irving in free agency, and later James Harden arrived via trade. On paper, that was one of the most talented rosters in NBA history. In practice, injuries, absences, and dysfunction kept them from ever reaching the finals together. The alleged burner account had things to say about all 3 of his key Brooklyn teammates. On James Harden, the leaked message reportedly read, "I miss James, man, that's a good no way. Slightly delusional, but I understand him." That was one of the milder entries compared to the others. It acknowledged a personal connection while suggesting Harden had an inflated sense of his own importance. Harden forced his way out of Brooklyn in February 2022 via trade to Philadelphia, and the falling out between him and the Nets front office was documented at the time. If this message is from Durant, it paints the picture of someone who appreciated Harden as a person, but recognized the ego that came with it. On Kyrie Irving, the messages were more pointed. The leaked chat suggested that Irving was accused of behaving as though he were owed something, and additional screenshots implied shade at Irving's controversial time in Brooklyn. Irving missed significant stretches of the 2021-22 season due to his refusal to comply with New York City's COVID vaccine mandate. He was available only for road games for months. The Nets' championship window closed largely because of that absence, combined with Harden's departure and Durant's own injuries. Irving eventually left the Nets mid-season in 2023 via trade to the Dallas Mavericks, and the Nets' entire project collapsed. The alleged burner also mentioned Ben Simmons, who arrived in Brooklyn as part of the Harden trade. One screenshot reportedly showed the account writing, "I swear I miss Ben Simmons. Least that Nama would give me the ball." That was interpreted as both a compliment to Simmons and a shot at other teammates. Simmons barely played for the Nets due to back injuries and mental health concerns, and he has not played in the NBA this season. But the message suggested the account holder valued Simmons' willingness to defer on offense, a quality that was apparently missing with other teammates. It was a backhanded compliment, but in the context of the rest of the leak, it stood out, because it was one of the only times the account said something even remotely positive about a former teammate. What made the Brooklyn messages stand out from the rest was how they connected to the broader narrative of Durant's career. He has now played for 5 franchises: Seattle, Oklahoma City, Golden State, Brooklyn, Phoenix, and Houston. At every stop except Golden State, the team either failed to reach the finals or fell apart while he was there. The leaked messages, if they belong to Durant, tell the story of a player who felt let down by the people around him at every turn. The franchise player who could not shoot or defend. The teammate who competed with him for the spotlight. The co-star who took all the credit. The teammate who acted like he was owed something. The young player who would never be good enough. Every message pointed outward. Every problem was someone else. That pattern is what made the NBA world react the way it did. It was not just that the messages were harsh, it was that they covered almost everyone. If you played with Kevin Durant at any point in the last 15 years, there was a chance your name showed up in those screenshots. That is a long list of players and coaches, and none of them came away looking good through the lens of whoever was typing those messages. For the record, none of the screenshots include verified metadata, IP confirmation, or platform authentication that directly links the account to Kevin Durant. There has been no official confirmation from Durant, the league, or the platform. Multiple outlets have noted this, but the context is what it is, and the context points in one direction. That direction is the reason this became the biggest story of All-Star Weekend. To understand why the NBA world reacted the way it did to these leaked messages, you have to understand the history. This is not the first time Kevin Durant has been connected to a burner account. It is not even the second time. It is a pattern that goes back nearly a decade, and each time it resurfaces, the reaction gets bigger. In September 2017, while playing for the Golden State Warriors, Durant accidentally tweeted from his verified account in the third person. The message defended his decision to leave Oklahoma City and criticized his former coach Billy Donovan and the Thunder roster. He didn't like the organization or playing for Billy Donovan. His roster wasn't that good. It was just him and Russ. The tweet read. Another one said the Thunder would have been terrible without Westbrook, implying KD was carrying a weak supporting cast. The problem was that the tweets came from OKD Trey 5, his verified personal account. He had meant to switch to a burner and forgot. The internet caught it before he could delete it, and the screenshots spread everywhere. After that incident, Durant was found to be operating multiple burner accounts across different social media platforms. He had Twitter accounts for responding to critics and Instagram accounts for his private life. What could have been written off as a one-time mistake turned into a confirmed habit, and then he leaned into it. In 2020, on the All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, Durant said, "I'm still gonna do the burner thing. I'm still gonna do that. I got the burner. I just slipped up that one time." On a separate podcast with Alex Rodriguez, he said, "When I deleted it, I was like, these people really made me delete what I enjoy. So I got another one." Even more recently, in October 2025, just weeks after signing his $90 million extension with the Rockets, Durant appeared on the Pivot podcast and addressed his social media habits directly. "I don't want to build up all this hate towards media or fans," he said, "so I just say what I feel in the moment." He also argued that his interactions with fans were good for the league. "I really believe that these people that I might be shedding on sometimes, they enjoy these interactions. That might push them to buy more NBA tickets. That logic works when you are going back and forth with random fans on X. It works less well when the leaked messages are about the teammates who share your practice facility." Some of the evidence connecting the 2026 account to Durant has been circumstantial but specific. The account to Gethire77 reportedly used an owl banner image that matched one Durant had previously posted on his main RKD Trey 5 account around the same time the burner was created. The account followed and was followed by a small circle of people connected to Durant's inner circle, including private coaches and league associates. Users also pointed out that they were automatically blocked from the Gethire77 account, despite never having interacted with it, suggesting that whoever ran it shared a block list with Durant's main account. On the other side of the argument, some analysts have pointed out that the messages feel too on the nose, and that the account jumped from topic to topic in a way that seemed designed to generate maximum controversy. They have noted that Durant is widely respected around the NBA as a supportive teammate, and that going after your own guys in a group chat would be out of character. One outlet estimated the likelihood that a Gethire77 belongs to Durant at roughly 50%, adding that even if it is his account, there is a high probability that some of the more extreme messages have been faked. As of now, Durant has not addressed the alleged chats publicly. The Rockets have not released a statement. The NBA has not gotten involved. The account went private within hours of the leak, and no forensic analysis of the screenshots has been released. That means everyone is working off unverified material. But here is why it matters regardless of whether the account is confirmed to be his. The Houston Rockets are in the middle of a championship push. They had the second best record in the Western Conference the season before Durant arrived. They traded for KD to put them over the top. They signed him to a $90 million extension. Rockets coach Ime Udoka called him the type of competitor who fits with what we've been building here in Houston. General manager Rafael Stone called him one of the most efficient scorers in the history of basketball. The franchise went all in. Now the locker room has to navigate the second half of the season. With these screenshots hanging over everything, even if Durant comes out tomorrow and says the account is not his, the messages are out there. The words about Sengun and Jabari Smith are public now. Every reporter who covers the Rockets will ask about them. Every time there is a bad game, the screenshots will get recirculated. Every time there is a win, someone will quote the burner messages as a joke. Kevin Durant is 37 years old. He is in his 18th NBA season. He has scored over 30,000 career points. He surpassed LeBron James as the highest career earner in NBA history at $598.2 million. He is a two-time champion, a two-time Finals MVP, a four-time scoring champion, and a 16-time All-Star. His basketball resume is beyond question, but his relationship with social media continues to create situations that follow him from team to team, city to city, and now into what is supposed to be the final chapter of a Hall of Fame career. The question at this point is not whether Kevin Durant is one of the greatest players to ever live. That was answered a long time ago. The question is whether what happened during All-Star Weekend, the leaked messages, the phone on the court, the scoreless championship round, the trending topics, will be something the Rockets can move past, or whether it will sit in the background of every game, every press conference, and every result for the rest of the season. Because if those messages are real, then half the NBA just found out what KD thinks of them. And that is not the kind of thing players forget.